Today's topic is an important one. We talk to investors every day, and we see things that they do that work well, and we see things that they do that do not work as well. And so today's video is going to cover the top 5 mistakes that I see investors make. My name is Jason Warner. I have been a real estate investor for quite a while. I've been flipping homes for a couple of decades, and I own several rental properties as well. I also own Indiana Property Management Group, and we manage hundreds of properties around Indianapolis and the immediate suburbs. All right, let's jump in. The first one is finding the right property. And that seems obvious, but it can be tricky. It can be as simple as, if you buy a property that's in a subdivision, making sure that that homeowners association allows rental properties. More and more are trying to restrict the number of rentals in their neighborhood. So it's critical that you really check with them and don't just rely on an old copy of the covenants and restrictions that you can find online somewhere. Make sure that you communicate with the association right now to make sure that there's not any new rules in the works. It could also be as simple as the age of the property. A lot of times the older homes they'll pencil out better on paper. It'll look like your cash flow is going to be stronger because maybe they're less expensive. But if you really factor in the additional maintenance cost and CapEx expenses and repairs that often come with those older homes, sometimes that can wipe out any of your cash flow that you think you're going to be achieving by choosing that older, maybe less expensive property. And then finally, the size of the property is also important. A lot of people like the older homes with more bedrooms because they think if they get families in, they're going to stay longer and have fewer turnovers. And that can be true. However, I personally like smaller homes. The roofs are cheaper. The turnovers between tenants require less paint, less flooring. And a lot of times if you buy in the right school districts, those tenants are going to stay a long time, even if the home is a little bit smaller. The second thing that I want to talk about is screening tenants. Sometimes we'll get clients that will come to us and say, hey, I've got a friend who has a friend who needs a rental property and they'll be perfect for this property and we can skip our time on the market, skip marketing. Let's just go ahead and put them in. That can be a huge mistake. We really need to go through our thorough screening process to make sure that we have someone who has a history of stable job employment, who has a history of paying rent, and who takes care of properties that they've rented in the past. Skipping this step can really cost a lot of money. A third thing on the list is when a landlord does not properly document the condition of the property when a tenant moves in and doesn't properly document the condition when the tenant moves out. Documenting the property at move-in is critical so that if there are damages when the tenant moves out, you've got photos or videos that can prove that the hole in the wall that's there now was not there before, or that stain on the carpet was not there before, and can be directly tied to the tenant during their tenancy. Properly documenting on the back end is important to get those deductions that you are owed for that damage, but you always have to think, in case I go to court to justify this expense, do I have the documentation that's going to be clear and obvious for a judge to make the proper decision? Along the same lines are doing mid-lease walkthroughs. These are really important because it gives you a chance to find small issues while they're small before they have a chance to become larger issues over the 12-month lease. It could be as simple as, have they moved a pet in that they are not authorized to have? Have they moved a person in that should not be there? Are they not keeping the property clean, not taking care of it? I'd much rather find that out after the 3rd or 4th month than waiting until a full 12 months and they've had a chance to really damage my property. One of the benefits of working with a property management company like Indiana Property Management Group is you get to tap into our experience and our knowledge base from the years of managing rental properties and investing. We love to really talk to our clients before they go out and purchase another property to help guide them on maybe the school districts that are seeing strong demand, or the type of properties or the type of amenities in properties that can either be more attractive to tenants or can possibly reduce your maintenance cost down the road. Those little things matter. And so if you want to tap into our experience and just talk to us about what we do and how we do it, please jump over to our website, which is www IndianaPMG.com. All right, let's go on to the next one. Fourth on our list is taking care of repairs quickly. This is similar to the last item when I said it's important to catch things when they're small problems and not big problems. Putting off maintenance issues can really turn into expensive repairs down the road. Plumbing leaks are a super obvious thing. It's important when you've got a small plumbing leak that you jump on it quickly and you address it properly. Band-aiding the situation now can lead to much more expensive repairs down the road. In addition to this, showing the tenant that maintaining the property for them while they're there is important to you will be important to them. It'll make them feel valued, make them feel heard. We always talk about the owner of the property as our client, but we want to treat the tenant like a customer. The more they feel valued and the more they feel like a customer that you are taking care of, the longer they tend to stay in the property, cuts down on your turnovers, and makes your landlord situation much more profitable. All right, last on our list are handling turnovers between tenants properly. Showing a property while the old tenant still lives in it can be very detrimental. Our belief is as soon as that tenant moves out, we need to have a strict timeline for getting contractor over there to put together bids, getting those bids completed, getting the marketing photos taken, and getting it on the market as quickly as possible so that we can get a tenant in place, a qualified tenant in place for you as soon as we can. Every day that that property sits empty costs you money. So it's important that you've got a plan in place before the vacancy happens to minimize the days that a property is vacant. All right, that's the end of our list. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button so that you'll be aware whenever we drop new pieces like this to help educate and help encourage you along your investing journey. And if you want to get in touch with us, remember, go to IndianaPMG.com, or you can give us a call at 463-777-1112. Thank you. Have a great day.